There's a comment from an audience member of mine. I think they're an Xbox fan. I disagree fundamentally with this particular sentiment that this person expresses. And I want to make a video about it where we can look and see why my disagreements are actually quite strong on this regard. Now, I say this with all due respect because I'm not attacking them. I'm attacking their idea, and I'll show you why. So let's jump in. This person said, when I buy a console like the Xbox, I have expectations based on what's told to me by the manufacturer. We were told Xbox would be the place to play some console exclusives from Xbox Studios. We were told that Bethesda games would bring at least a few more exclusives to Xbox consoles. Considering that a lot of Xbox fans have been waiting for new games from studios that were bought towards the end of Xbox One generation, it feels disappointing to not have the games delivered in the way we expected. It's not about having games to gloat about. It's about having expectations of getting unique experiences when we bought the console, and then having Microsoft completely change their script at the beginning of this year. But I would love to see Microsoft be completely transparent about ending exclusivity at the start of next generation and see how their hardware sells. Exclusivity drives sales, no matter how much we say it's bad for consumers. I fundamentally disagree. This is an archaic way of actually looking at the current reality in the gaming industry. In the past, nonetheless, I would have 100% agreed with you that exclusivity did drive sales. However, we're in a different gaming market right now. When Microsoft was purchasing Bethesda, or when it was looking for ways to bolster Game Pass, what many people didn't realize was the number of available games in the industry were much lower. In fact, we have the data set and we can simply look at, say, something like Steam's own game releases. When was when was Bethesda procured by Xbox? 2021. The deal and the talks would have been in a time when games released the entire year on Steam was about 9,687, of which that same number on consoles would even be less, seeing as Steam has a much more friendly means of developers to launch their games on Steam. Today, that number is moving towards doubling by the end of the year. We're only in December 14th, and right now we have 18,363 games available. If Xbox wanted exclusivity back then, I can assure you it wants it no more because it's not sustainable. That's the first fundamental disagreement that I have, and I want to use that as a context for the rest of this video. This person then says, and we're going to read the second thing, I have expectations based on what's told to me. We were told Xbox would be the place to play some console exclusives from Xbox Studios. We were told Bethesda games would bring at least a few more exclusives to Xbox. Considering that Xbox fans have been waiting for games from studios that based on the end of the generation, it feels disappointing to not have the games delivered in the way we expected. Why are you disappointed? Because the expectation basically had to change because of the market that was driving the change. Because the contract and the contract that you fulfill in buying a console is that you're going to get these games. And you said this. You said it's not about having games to gloat over, but I fundamentally disagree. I think that's what it is. Now, you have the opportunity to trade your Xbox in and go to another platform because actually you got the better deal. Do you know how you got the better deal? They expected that they were going to give you unique experiences. But what they did was, because they saw the market changing, I don't know if this is because or as a reason of, they gave you a better experience pretty much. Now, not only are you getting these games, and yes, they're going to go elsewhere, some of them, you're getting them with the option of having a small subscription fee version of getting these games. If Xbox expected you to pay full price for these exclusives and then port them to PlayStation, I would consider that the slap in the face that you feel you've received. However, they have given what I think is the best concession that you can have out there. It is a no-brainer, and that's why I said I fundamentally disagree. I'm a PC gamer. And I look at the Xbox Game Pass proposition and I'm like, oh my goodness. And I have no skin in the game in terms of what a console expectation is. I couldn't be bothered with the console expectation. In fact, I exposed Xbox and PlayStation's console expectations that they falsely gave to console players during the days of Gotham Knights. Do y'all remember, those of you that followed Gotham Knights, when I pulled my Xbox box and my PlayStation box and I showed y'all the 4K 120 FPS and the 8K 120 FPS with the little asterisk and a small disclaimer that this would only be supported on software that supports it, basically telling you if the software ain't going to support it, you're on your own. But they wrote the big 4K 120 FPS there, and they deceived people, or they made a play on words, and the marketing gave people false expectations. Those are the expectations you ought to be upset at, because at the end of the day, you bought that console for games. I believe. I won't tell you what to do, nor would I, presume to tell you what to do, but this is why I fundamentally disagree. And guess what? Even more than ever, because of the acquisitions and the games coming, you are getting the most unique experience. Because why would it bother you that the games are going elsewhere anyways? Like, why would it bother you that PlayStation players are getting the games? Because you could have bought a PlayStation and played PlayStation games and paid full price for Xbox games? Could that be the case? Then trade in your PlayStation. Xbox failed you. That's what I would say. If you feel that Xbox failed you, trade in your Xbox, get a PlayStation, get a PC. A PC will make me happier. I'll be able to make a bunch of videos telling you all kinds of fun little unique tricks and blah, 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 blah. I'll make all those nerdy videos. Trade your Xbox in. Don't use Xbox anymore. They've disappointed you. They failed you. Don't buy an Xbox, even in the upcoming generation. In fact, you said something here. You said, I would love for Microsoft to be completely transparent about ending exclusivity at the start of next gen. You don't have to wait that long. They already did. They said there are no red lines of which games can come to the next generation. And then you said, and see how their hardware sells. Oh, no. You're betting on something that they already bet on. It's not a bet even. It's the data shows it. They don't have to worry about it. They now have live service games that are going to get the job done for them. And then they also now have Game Pass. That's going to bring in people who want value for their money. They are betting. They've put their money where their mouth is. So now now that you know that there are no red lines, you take the bet, put your money where your mouth is, and go with Xbox, go with PlayStation on the next one. Let's see. I mean, right? Wouldn't that be a way to go? Because Xbox has failed you. Because if Xbox has not failed you, then I think at the end of the day, you wanted to play List Wars. That's what I think. I mean, I could be wrong. But I think you were more interested in List Wars than you were with the games. Because the games are literally coming to you on a platter. The heck? Every PlayStation fan is deeply jealous of Game Pass. Some don't even realize that they're jealous until they talk. And then you're like, whoa, that reeked of a lot of envy. They may say, oh, I don't like Game Pass. I don't care what's on Game Pass. That's not true, because many of them are subscribed to PlayStation Premium so that they can test out brand new games for 3 hours. Like, the proposition is there for them, and they are leveraging it. They're basically, they're saying one thing, but their behavior is going in a different way. Very interesting, don't you think? Abandon the List Wars. They're not relevant. The moment content becomes this Game Pass thing that you're seeing, picture Xbox's roadmap on this thing, and they don't even put... Xbox needs to put their roadmap on Game Pass. They really do need to. Every game that's been announced that's coming to Game Pass, they absolutely have to go ahead and put a big fat picture like Clobril does on Twitter. Clobril will do these, big maps. They need to just tell Clobril, hey, Clobril, why don't we just pay you? Why don't we just pay you so that you could just... These maps of yours... These roadmaps that we're always seeing all over the place, why don't we just slap it on, freaking the Game Pass thing? Now, some of these games are not coming to Game Pass, but this is one of Clobril's creations. Maybe that's going to convince a lot of these Xbox fans that, hey, man, you're about to be eating really good. Maybe that might convince them because, man, I think what's happened is Xbox gamers, you've been so gaslit by PlayStation fans that don't even buy their own games, that they're always, the minority that talk on the internet. You've been so gaslit by them. You've let them get into your head. That's what's happened. You let them get into your head. A lot of them are empty vessels. Sorry to say, I deal with them all the time, and I'm a PlayStation fan, and I can tell you that with comfort. Empty vessels make the most noise. They talk and talk and talk and talk, and yet their games are not cracking top 20 on PlayStation. Their game that they made for them, that's a live service game, has to go on PC to shine. While underneath here, it's literally top 30. They're not playing it. This is the community that you will allow to worry you, because I know it's them that's troubling you. Why? I have other Xbox gamers that are also on the channel that make a very similar sentiment as well. And most of their sentiments lie on the fact that, oh, why are PlayStation fans getting these games? Because that's the crux of your argument. Let them get the games. That way we can actually see if they're true about the fact that they keep saying PlayStation games are better than Xbox games. Let Xbox take their games there, so at least it will give us a metric to see if they actually enjoy Xbox games, of which, some of them they like, some of them they're anticipating. They're making it sound like a joke. I'll play Starfield on PlayStation someday. Indiana Jones. They're making it sound like a joke, but deep down inside, they're interested in those games. Not even deep down inside. They are interested in those games. And we want to see them actually spend $70 on it. I'm waiting for February. I want to see these PlayStation fans actually drop the 70 quid. I really would love to see that. Oh, wait. Are they going to? Or are they going to sit there and play FIFA and EA and all this stuff? See. Focus on the platform that you bought to play your games. And if you're not getting the games you want, go to the platform that's going to get you the games and give you the quality of the service that you can get. I recommend PC. Thanks for watching the video. Peace out.